Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Po Boy's Little Homestead. If this is your first time stopping in, feel free to stop in anytime, my friend. Well, today I'm out in my, what I call my everything shop. And I'm going to build me a little feeder for my baby quails. They wasting too much feed. I'll show you a little clip right here. I cleaned this out last night and y'all making too big of a mess. I have to see if I can make another feeder. It doesn't get too many holes and y'all making too much of a mess, wasting feed. Now I've built the big version of this. For the big quail, just took a cheap plastic bowl, container, whatever you want to call it, from Wally World. And these holes here, that's 1.25 inch pipe. They just big enough for full-grown quails to stick their heads in there. And they stick their heads through there to eat, but yet they can't rake all the food and throw it back out. I just drill a hole and cut that pipe about 3/4 inch wide and hot glue it in that hole. That's just so they can't scratch themselves up on their neck when they stick it through that thin plastic. And then I used a 4-inch pipe on top. You cut you 2 half-moon circles. That way when you fill the pipe up, you got a little plastic top come off a snuff can or a snuff bucket. Fit right over that 4-inch pipe. But when you fill it up, fill this pipe up, that feed comes out them half moons right there. And quail have to stick their head in there to eat it. And they don't waste your feed. So today I'm going to build a mini version to put in my little brooder for my little quails I just hatched out. And I'm just taking a little bitty plastic container. And on this one I'm going to use just 1.25 inch. This is actually a piece off of a drain made for a sink drain. And I'm going to cut my little half moons in it, drill a hole through the lid, hot glue it through my lid, and just for a little brooder feeder, that'll hold about 1 cup of feed. But on the holes in the bottom, I'm going to use 3/4 inch pipe. And I believe them little bitty quail, as small as they are, their heads will go right in there. I'm going to drill my holes in there and I'm going to hot glue that in there and make me a mini quail feeder. Now baby chick, you wouldn't be able to use that small of a hole. Their little heads wouldn't go in there long enough. But we're going to get the, first I'm going to cut my half moons here. And they ain't got to be exact, as long as they're a little half moon to let the feed come out. Little chick feeder, I'm only gonna have one spot on each side for them to eat. I ain't never gonna have over about 10 little bitties in there at a time. Take my knife, clean them little burrs off. Now if you're gonna have more bitties, I could take just a little bit bigger bowl. My brooder ain't big enough to put one this big in, but you can make it any size you want. Imagine when I get into this where I'm gonna raise my own meat quail, I'll probably build one about half this size because I already have a big brooder built. Alright guys, while I was getting my hot glue gun out and getting it plugged up, I found a piece of 1-inch pipe. So I cut me 2 little rings. I'm afraid that 3/4 there may not last long enough. They'll outgrow that too quick, so I'm gonna put some 1-inch. Because in theory it ain't that the hole can be too big, because once they stick their head in there, they can't just scratch the feed out. So I'm gonna use 1-inch. Now I'm gonna try to drill this with just a little hole drill, but sometimes drilling this thin plastic, it wants to crack on you. Just like that one just did. Well, I went in and went through my wife's cabinet and I found another one of these little containers. So I got one more try. So at this time, I'm gonna take the little heat gun and warm this plastic up and see if that'll help it from cracking. You gotta be careful, you'll heat it too much, it'll melt on you quick. That's feeling pretty soft, so let's see. Put me a board behind it. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. What y'all think? I think I can cut the rest of that right there out with my knife. And we got one side. Now if we can just do the other side. One down, one to go. Look at there. We got 2 of them did. Next up, we're gonna put that ring in there, and I see my hole saw's a little bit too much bigger than the ring, but I'm gonna see if I can fill that in with hot glue and hold that in. We're gonna glue it on the outside here first. It may be too big to fill in. Got to go slow because that hot glue starts melting that thin plastic. After that dries, I'll run a bead of that hot glue on the inside around that. What are you doing, Delta? Y'all can't see my big old dog come in here. Needing a little attention this morning. There's old Delta girl. While that side's cooling, I'm gonna see if I can put the other side in. I just had that laying right here. There it is over here hiding from me. I don't know why stuff likes to hide from me. I lost 2 pocket knives in one day. About 3 days ago. Yesterday I found one of them. I ain't never found the other, and that's the 3rd pocket knife I've lost this year. So I'm good at losing things. Sometimes I'll find it right where I left it lay. But that pocket knife, I ain't sure that one pocket knife didn't get buried when I was planting my squash. Funny thing is, I went back out there the next day and dug one of the squash back up where I thought I had my knife last to see if I covered it up in the hole. But I didn't find it there. Boy, I used hot glue, zip ties, tie wire, and baling twine. I use so much of them doing different little projects. I try to create all kind of stuff. About 50% of the time I work for 2 hours trying to make something that I could buy for $5 and then turn around and throw it away because it didn't turn out like I wanted it. But sometimes some of the stuff I make's better than what you can buy. Indeed, that Quail Feeder right here, they sell feeders, but they don't sell nothing as good as that because it's waterproof and they can't scatter your food. And they don't sell no mini ones, so that's why I'm trying to make me a mini one. But now, I didn't come up with that idea. I come across that on YouTube. And the fella I watched said the same thing. He didn't come up with the idea. He had seen somebody else do it. But a lot of times I like watching YouTube, see what other people do, and it'll give me an idea to do something similar to it and make some changes that I think better for my situation. Alright guys, now we got to drill the hole in the top. Let's see. The hole was a little big for that, but I think it's going to be a little tight for this, but I can heat it up here and make it work. Yeah, I got that plastic too hot. It's just wanting to melt in my teeth there. Ain't wanting to cut. Alright. I'm gonna have to do this one with the knife. I messed up and got that one too hot and it ain't wanting to cut. It's just wanting to wire it up on my teeth on the bit. Uh-oh. Now after I change this to the 1-inch, see, I'll be able to use this one for 2 or 3 days, 4 maybe 5, from when I hatch out baby chicks before they get too big to stick their head through that hole. I don't know what that's off of, but it was almost just right, but it ain't. I need the top. Well, look at there. It right there gonna make a top. We're gonna make a top out of whatever this was. I'm gonna heat it just a little bit. We're gonna heat that right there. We're gonna put that part right down over here. And then look at there, I got a top. How snazzy that is, guys. That plastic heated, once it cooled off, it tightened back up. That'll stay on. Pull this off. I glue it right around the inside there. And guys, there's a mini baby quail feeder, which now I can use for a baby chick feeder, because the holes are big enough they can just stick their head in there and they can't rake my feed out. So we're gonna take this to the brooder with some feed in it and show y'all how this thing works. Alright guys, I'm in the house where I got my little mini brooder. I loaded this up with feed, and you can see how that feed comes out them 2 holes. So we finna put it in this brooder and see how they act to it. That one there done figured it out. Now that he figured it out, the rest of them will figure it out. See, he got his head stuck all the way up in there. And guys, that's how it works right there. Well guys, you've seen how it works. I think that's gonna be another little success. Maybe save them from wasting some feed. Anyway, I hope this gives some of you some ideas. You may want to make one yourself. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day.